welcome. Marianne popping in on Friday, October 4th. I just got out of the parking lot from the funeral. I'm not sure what street I am on. Oh my gosh, where am I? I think I need to go a different way. Let's make a U-turn. I got turned around right quick. Okay. This one doesn't know how to make a U-turn. Okay, gotta get my sense of direction. What street I'm at? Okay, so I'm on that street. Okay. Making a U-turn. Okay, gotta get on the right street so I can go home. I think the last time I came here, I came to confession because I came on the way home from work. Pretty sure I'm going the right way. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I came in from over there. So, not last. It was just, thank the Lord that I was able to get out of that parking lot so easily. I'm telling you, it was hard to park. There were so many people. Okay, so Father Enrique Serra, who I call Father Rick, was my pastor a few years ago, and he passed away in September. Today was his funeral. Now they had a mass at his church last night. The funeral was today here at the Christ Cathedral. That used to be what's called the Crystal Cathedral when, what's his name, Robert Schuller had his ministry over here, but the Catholic Church purchased it. Now it's called Christ Cathedral. And so Father Serra, Father Rick, I call him Father Rick, his name is Enrique, he was the first priest ever ordained in our diocese. But he was my pastor for a few years, and when you hang around and the priests and stuff, some of them you get to know, some of them maybe not so much as others. So I've had a few in the past, but Father Serra, he always encouraged me, and he got to know me. He knew my name. I lectured alongside him in the liturgy. I was a lector for many, many, many years, and I stopped lecturing shortly when the pandemic broke out and they shut down the churches and everything. My mom needed to, be tended to, so I was running back and forth. So even when they opened up and had some lectors, I couldn't keep the schedule. And then I got my job at the amusement park, and I was working Saturdays and Sundays. So the schedules at our church were, you had a month block, and so I had to be available. I always made it to church, going to work. I visited many different churches when I had that job. Of course, because we don't have our 6:30 Mass anymore, and that's the one that I attended a lot. So anyway, I gotta find the street that I'm gonna turn left on, and then I'm gonna go get some quarters. But anyway, it was a nice service. And I had to sit up in the upper level, which was nice because I got a view of everything, and I saw many, many, many of my last prior priests in my church were there. Lots of priests there. So it was a good service. And I'm glad I went. I was running late, but I got here before the procession even started. So that was nice, and I had to walk all the way from the very back corner of the parking lot. Thank God I got a space. I would have been bummed if I would have had to turn around and go home. I could have, there's a memorial mass tonight at my parish, but I'm not good at the night masses. So, I rather, since I had the opportunity to go to the actual funeral where the bishop was presiding and all that, and of course all those priests from past, got to see them, and a lot of people from my parish were there that I haven't seen in a while because I've been moonlighting at a different parish, the parish that's in my neighborhood. I know a lot of those priests there because they're with a whole different set of priests. They are from the Abbey, but I was their mail lady that was my retirement route from the post office. So got to know a lot of them. And even when they weren't having confessions, one of them heard my confession anyway, because I was really upset one time, and I had an appointment. I got to go in his office and do all that. But you know, this guy was one of a kind, and I really loved him as my pastor. And not to talk bad about any of the other ones, but he was one where, you know, he knew me. He told me, he knew where I worked and everything. He knew I was a single mom, and he would tell me, you don't have to find some man and fall in love with him. When you retire, you can just join the convent and become a nun. Just make sure you have some money coming in, because they won't pay you, really. So there's that. I'm pretty close to Disneyland right here, but I'm not wearing clothes suitable, or else I would pop over, because there were reservations available, but it's already warm outside, and I'm wearing black slacks, and I washed this top. I wore the same one Sunday, but I didn't want to exactly wear all black, but I wore black with red and purple are significant colors in our church. Certain feast days during Lent, Advent, and red for like Good Friday and Pentecost, things like that. And so anyway, I'm glad I made it. And it's, you know, it's just, you know, I've been thinking a lot lately, as far as, you know, my why as to why I want to lose weight, because I don't feel comfortable. Right now I'm still pretty bloated, and I don't feel comfortable, but it brings me back to my why. I'm going to be 65, and it's not that, oh, all of a sudden I want to get healthy. I've always been on yo-yo diets, but it's more of the fact that I'm going into those years where things are not going up, they're going down, you know. And I'm in the twilight of my life, you know, and we're not guaranteed tomorrow, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm not invincible. I'm going to be 65, so I'm running into those life expectancy ages, so to speak. So I have to have the attitude that life is short. So I just want to get this weight off once and for all and get on with my life. So I have to just kind of concentrate on my why. What is your why? You can put it down in the comments. And the why has to be strong enough to be motivating. I just have a lot of things going on right now, and I have to, you know, just get I procrastinate, and I have to stop procrastinating and just dig in. A lot of times when I dig into stuff, I get obsessed. So I kind of need to get obsessed about my Weight Watchers again. Get obsessed about getting my home straightened out, because I know there's a letter coming today. I saw in my daily digest from the post office that I'm getting a letter from my landlord. That just means he's going to raise the rent. Last year he raised it $120 a month. I'm expecting a bigger one, because he can take that percentage and it's going to be bigger. And I don't know why he does this. I've lived here for 17 years, something like that. You can give us more than a month's notice. We're not going to just up and leave. I've lived here for 17 years. It would be nice to not get such short notice. They can do 30 days at a certain percentage. If they go above that percentage, they have to give at least 60 days. So he's only been giving us like a 30 days notice the last couple of years. And then he gives me this letter that's comparing all the rents in the area. I know a lot of rents in the area are higher than what I'm paying, but they're not full of termites. They don't have 20-year-old carpet. They have swimming pools. They have amenities that I don't have. They have granite countertops. I have an ugly kitchen. And, you know, I'm not saying it to complain, but it's like, come on, make some freaking improvements. Excuse my language, but I just got out of church. You know, so I'm kind of anxious to go see what that is. I just told my son pays half the rent, you know, because he lives in the back of the apartment and I live in the front. So we'll be able to pay it. I'm fortunate there. I'm very blessed. I'm not rich, but I make enough to get by. But these increases are just going to continue and continue and continue. And a lot of his thing is the water bill, but you know what? If he actually came out and saw who used all the water, there's only 2 of us. And then there's only 2 of my next door neighbor. They don't use a lot of water. They're pretty good. But the other neighbors, they got 4 or 5, 6 people in their apartment. They just use water like there's no drought anywhere. So I don't wash my car at home. In fact, I need to go clean it. I need to go wash it. I don't sit out there watering everything after the gardener watered everything. They're out there with the hose washing their doggy pads, and they wash their cars. She's out there washing her clothes by hand outside, and then she uses the laundry. I mean, so there's just a lot of water waste, and it's always running in her kitchen. She's like cleaning and cooking all day. We're the opposite. Yeah, I clean my floors and I vacuum and everything, and I clean the counters and the bathtub and everything, but I'm not all day long just soaking up all the water. But anyway, glad I went to the funeral. I mean, you got to show up. Part of life, the one thing in life is you got to show up, and I'm glad I did, because now I'm not going to be sitting at home all day thinking, oh, I should have went, oh, should I go tonight? It was a beautiful service, and he was a blessing in my life and many others. So anyway, that's what I got to start seeing. How can I be a blessing instead of a lazy fat girl sitting at home wondering when I'm going to finish uncluttering or get serious on my Weight Watchers? You know, part of it's my fault, and I know that. I'm not going to come out and say, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I think I should start getting shots and stuff because it's not my fault. It is my fault. So, I mean, as long as I don't put the temptations around me, I should be okay. But, you know, that's the way it is. Anyway, I'm tired of rambling. We used to have a Rambler when I was growing up. That's a car. So, anyway, I'm going to go get my quarters. It's pretty much 12:30. It's lunchtime. So, you know, the mass started at 10:30. So, luckily I'm not stuck in the parking lot. I didn't stand around and yak with everybody. I saw a lot of people that I knew, but I just thought, no, I had to go to the bathroom. So, I actually had to go when I got there, but didn't have time. It wasn't inside the church. It was across the way. And then I was lucky there. It wasn't even crowded in there when I got out. So everything's moving right along. So I have no excuses. Anyway, I'll see you next time. I don't know if I'm going to put a video up every day, but I just kind of want to check in and say, yeah, here I am. You want to subscribe to my channel? I'm sure I'll get better at this, but right now I'm just winging it. Anyway, thanks. See you next time. Have a great day.